Yo,
Yo, what's good?
chilling, homie, chilling. I'm just in New York, but
Okay.
when I did come back, I wanted to catch up with you and see when you're free. I'll pull up on you.
Yeah, should come over Sunday. We could
All right.
chill in the back and just,
Hell yeah.
chill out.
You got any special wines you want to show me?
Yeah, I actually got a couple, but one I probably want to open is this Fabian Hu red wine I have.
Ooh.
You fuck my wine. So
Oh, shit. That sounds crazy.
yeah, dope ass winemaker and backstory on it. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
been kind of saving it for a little bit. So I got a bottle for us.
Oh, I bet. Let's pull up then. All right. I'll see you on Sunday then. I'll catch you soon.
Okay. All right.
All right, later, brother.
The first time I met you,
Mm-hmm.
it was at
But
Buzz, and at Buzz, I remember Eddie P made the introduction, and you were getting into the wine, just like that universe of wine.
yeah.
How did it feel like knowing that you really wanted to do it, but you also did you know where to start, or did you feel
Nah.
like where how did you like end up here?
I would say even like when we had met around that time, it was still something that was kind of just like a thought. Like I wanted to do it. Like I wanted to get into wine. I wanted to, you know, educate myself. I wanted to host events, but I think at that time I didn't throw the event yet. I think it was more of just like an idea, and it was something I was just like getting into, diving into as far as just like what is this, what is wine, you know, you growing up, for me, growing up wasn't something that was like, wine wasn't like accessible in a sense. It wasn't something that was, you know, in my home or around my neighborhood. You know, you grew up drinking beer and alcohol, hard alcohol. So at that time, I think it was just more of just a curiosity of me getting into wine. And
Like, who did you meet as like somebody who like you would consider like a mentor, or even
I would say the first person to like
like a
put the
figure?
bug in my mind or my head was Raf in downtown at Buzz. Because I was brought into that job to be the GM, just to manage the shop, run it, do the day-to-day operations and stuff like that. And I would like fuck around with customers and just like lie about wines and shit like that, just to sell it. And then one day he was just like, man, you should really learn, like, you know, at least get like the basics. And so we used to, you know, drink, I'll buy a bottle, he'll buy a bottle, we'll drink it. And then he would just like teach me, he would just not teach me, but just like he would just like tell me what you taste. And that was hard at the beginning, because it's like, how can I, but like, what is this? It tastes like juice, you know? That was my first impression of like wine, like it tastes like juice, grape juice. But, and over time of like drinking with him and talking to him and, you know, going home and like actually like drinking wine by myself and actually sitting down like quietly and drinking it and breaking it down to a point where it started to make sense. I'll say Raph is like the first person to like give me that like push.
Plant the seed.
Yeah, plant the seed, and you know, that little seed turned into where I'm at today. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Do you, in terms of like emotion, like, because I feel like it's an art now too, right? Like
It is.
specific wines, like the way you,
good.
the way you
Sorry.
curate books, and like the way, like when I went to one of your activations, like your events where you would give us a pamphlet to really like write down and really learn about wine. Like
Yeah.
you encourage us to figure out the notes. You encourage us to listen to a song and to relate it to it. You know, that takes a lot of curiosity, but it also takes a lot of like emotion to really find it. You know.
It does. Even those events, like I only do like one, sometimes once a year. The most I think I did was 3, but I normally do like 1 or 2 a year. Like this year I haven't did one. I'm probably gonna do one in late August, early September, And a lot of people always ask me like, yo, why don't you do more? And I'm like, you don't understand the work I put in to like put those events, because it's curated to like the T, like from the glass to the music to the location to the conversation I'm having, because it's that event, the wine and music experience. I have different names for it, but like that's like the main thing about it. That experience comes from when I was at home teaching myself about wine, or going to like wine bars by myself, where I would go take a notebook, take my headphones, ask the bartender or the waitress to just like, give me a wine, don't tell me what it is. Sometimes I'll look and get a wine, but it kind of got into a thing where it's just like, okay, I'm tasting wine, I'm listening to music, but then as I'm drinking the wine, writing my notes, I'm catching myself changing the song to pair with the wine. Because with wine and music, there's a lot of similarities. I would say there's a lot of emotion, feel, flavor. There's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end. Sometimes there's a story behind the wine, like this wine in general. In music, there's a lot of stories and songs. You know, they're all stories.
You told me about this wine a little bit, about the Fabian Hueves.
Fabian, damn.
I think that's
Hovin, yeah.
Yeah, Hueves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is this winemaker and why does he inspire you?
Love his story. First had this wine. This was, let's say 4 years ago, at a restaurant called Woodspoon. I was working there.
The Brazilian one?
Yeah,
Oh,
with
nice.
Natalia.
Natalia, yeah.
I was selling wine. I was doing everything. I was selling wine. I was busting. I was serving. But I was washing dishes. Like I was doing everything for her. But the main thing she brought me in is to like sell wine to people when they came in. And this one, I remember a rep came in and we did a tasting, and the name itself caught my eye. You fuck my wine. I'm like, why the name? I'm very curious. And so the backstory on this wine is, when he sent his wine to get the certified like AOC and Cahors, they rejected him. They rejected him because of the blend, because you have to follow certain laws in wine in France to be labeled from like a certain region. So they rejected him, and they actually told him your wines will never be approved.
Oh, wow.
They basically said like your wines will never be approved, and you're kind of just like, you'll never be like a great winemaker. So his response was, okay, cool, I'm still make the wine, change the name of the wine. I don't remember the original name, but he changed the name and he named it You Fuck My Wine. Basically saying, fuck you guys, I'm still gonna do it. And when I heard that story, I was just like, I fuck with that, because it has a connection with me because of my journey with wine. Like everything I know is self-taught. I know a lot because I read, watch videos, I drink a lot of wine, I do my research. People always ask me like, oh, are you a sommelier? And you know, what's a sommelier? If I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a certified one. Do I ever want to be one? Probably not. I don't think I need a piece of paper to like tell me what I know and what I don't know about wine. The jobs I've had in the past and the jobs I've had now, you're supposed to have it, but I have the job.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of tells you enough about who I am.
Your tenacity.
Yeah, like,
I'm
you
willing to learn.
know, I've been through interviews where they're like, oh, what level somm are you? Or do you have any certifications? And I'm like, no. They give me a test, I pass the test, and then they're questioning me like, how do you know this? You know, and that's, to me, it's a slight slap in the face, because if you give me a test and I pass it and you're still asking me how I know these things, it's just like, damn, like,
Yeah.
what more do I have to like prove, you know?
I'm assuming in the beginning you had to go through a lot of rejection to get what you needed.
Some rejection. I think what I still get now, it doesn't bother me as much as it did at the beginning, is the look of somebody being surprised that I know about wine. Customers in general. I working in downtown. People think working in downtown was like cool, it was fun, which it was. I think when I was working at the Row, that was a little more eye-opening because it was definitely like a younger generation of wine drinkers I was like being around and selling to. And a lot of them would I would approach, you know, hey, how you doing? Do it so, you know,
Yeah.
do my job and
The small talk.
And a lot of them, when I asked them if they need help with wine, they were always not reject it, but they'd be like, oh, I'm okay. And then 2 minutes later, they go to the coworker of mine and boom, ask them for wine.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things, I'm like, damn, do they not think I'm here for that?
Yeah.
Like, they would think I'm just a boy.
Do you think it was a color thing?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think they just thought I was there to stock,
Yeah.
you know, which if you look at me, your first impression isn't wine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give a sommelier.
Yeah.
I don't give a person who's like
Educated in that
educated
space.
in that space, which is cool. I don't never want to give that
Yeah.
because it's not me. And if you know me, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is how I dress. This is how I talk.
You literally embody wine.
I do.
Like from what I know, that's an interesting take because like it is when I think of a wine expert in whatever form of the word that is, I don't think of a Latin body.
You don't.
You think of like a, you know, Italian, Caucasian guy. You know,
Yeah.
you just think of a white guy,
White guy, white lady.
white lady, who would just like give off like, I don't know,
Snotty,
snotty energy.
Which is
interesting because like you give off like the kindest energy and the most welcoming energy, which is like not the status quo.
nah.
Because you're if you had a conversation with a sommelier and like you had a full blown like wine conversation, I probably would not know what you guys are talking about.
You wouldn't. And and not to say in a bad way. Like
Yeah.
there's certain like
But it's truthful though.
it's true. Like there's certain terms, there's certain, how can I say, there's certain words you use, especially like drinking this wine.
The vocabulary.
The vocabulary, like that's one thing to me. I was just like when I was doing my homework and when I was getting into wine, it's like I remember looking up. I bought a wine book and it gave me like a list of vocabulary words, and I was just like, what the fuck does this shit even mean? You know? So it's just like tannins. Like what the fuck is tannins? Like what is that? Or what does it mean? You know, shit like that. It's like solidity. It's like off dry, which means sweet. To me, sound makes no sense, but that's just the vocabulary in wine. There's certain terms that, you know, as I've been in this industry, I use, but I try not to use them when I'm talking to somebody that come to me for advice, or if I meet somebody at my shop that I'm selling them wine. I pick their brain, and this is one thing I would say I'm very good at, and I could do this very well. I could pick somebody's brain to a point where if you don't drink wine, if you do drink wine, I can pick you a bottle that you're gonna like, and you're gonna come back in and tell me you loved it. And I have the confidence in doing that. I've been doing it for a while now, and that's based on just like being relatable. One thing I try to do is make wine relatable to people. You know, people always ask me, what is this flavor I'm tasting? Or what is this? Or how do you know what you taste? And I always tell people like, well, you've had all these fruits before. Growing up, childhood, teenage years, right now, from the candy, the juices, the fruits, the culture you grew up around, you've had all these flavors. Now it's just getting to a point where you have to relate it to the wine. Like this, drinking this. Have you had a sip? I don't know if you had a sip yet, but.
I'm almost done with my cup.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me take a drink.
Like that has like a Jolly Rancher taste to it.
Yeah, but it also has like a subtlety of bitter.
Yeah, a bitterness to it.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, it does. It has a high acid.
Yeah.
But it's like it has that Jolly Rancher kind of salty, tart finish. you ever drink like the old people cherry juice or
Yeah.
the real shit where it's just like potent as fuck? That's what that kind of tastes like. And I always tell people like, you've had these flavors before. You gotta just stop trying to say the right thing and just say what you taste.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the easiest, the best advice I always give people, especially when they come to my events. And when I call on people, I'm like, no, just speak your mind.
Yeah.
Write your thoughts. Whatever comes to your mind, just say it. Because there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
You drinking that, me drinking this, we're gonna get comparable notes, but then we're gonna get different notes because your palate is different than my palate.
Yeah. That's so interesting. But that's also kind of like the beauty of like wine making, and I guess this is a fairly new space for people of color to really tap in.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of like being marketed as like a wine drinker or people like us drinking wine. Is it a fairly new atmosphere?
I would say in the past, I've been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah.
I would say. Even for me, when I was getting into it, like there were people out there doing things. I think the first people I ever heard was Taryn and Diz, owners of Offhand.
Mm-hmm.
They would do their what was the name of that Sunday? I forget. Apologies, but
Yeah.
they had a Sunday. I think it was last Sundays of every month. They used to throw an event at the Friend Bar.
Yeah.
And it was curated around wine.
So
Around
that's probably the first.
That's the first time I ever went to an event like that.
Yeah.
I think already at that time I threw my first 2, and then I got introduced to them,
Yeah.
which is a crazy story. But
Yeah.
yeah, after I did my first 2 events, I was getting kind of wind of who they were and what they were doing. It was more of just like me watching from afar, not really knowing them. I'm not the type of person to approach somebody or hit somebody in the DM was like, yo, help me out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think growing up Mexican, you have too much pride.
Yeah, and
It's
that's a great point. The help me out part.
yeah.
It is hard to ask for help as a Latino or even a Mexican in general.
It is.
I
It
never
is.
ask for help. And
I don't, and I,
to the point where I say, why doesn't anyone help me? And it's like,
and it's just like, but you're self-sabotaging yourself
yeah,
because you have this pride, and I had it.
yeah,
Man, when I'll tell you this quick little story. When I finally met Taryn, he came to my house for dinner one time, and it was cool. You know, first of all, I would say this. First time we talked on the phone about wine, we talked for about 2 hours. He was like, you know, what are you doing? What do you want to do? And I kind of just like laid it out, and I was like, yo, this is what I'm doing right now. But, you know, at that time, I think I was like on my 3rd event already. And I think I told him, I was just like, I'm hitting a ceiling. I was hitting a ceiling where I'm like, all right, I did 3 events, all 3 sold out. I got a little bit of traction, but what's next? You know, I was like, what else can I do next that is gonna be, I just keep doing events? The job I was at the time, I think I was on like my 5th year being the GM at Buzz.
mm-hmm.
And even with that, like, I was just being the general manager, I was selling wine, but there was nothing like next. There was nothing like to like push me to do the next thing or like I said, I was hitting a ceiling and I was like, damn, where do I go from here? Is this it? Am I tapped out?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I did the events. People loved it.
Yeah.
Like my thing was like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
And then meeting him and him kind of just like, you know, I would say giving me the,
Kind of like the handoff?
no, not a handoff really, but him just kind of just like talking to him about like what I was doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And me actually going to one of their events because all my events I did by myself. There was no
Yeah.
restaurant, there was no bar. We rented out a location.
Yeah.
I bought the wine. Matter of fact, I'll say this, shout out to Sarah's Market because my first event, everything was out of pocket at cost. Second and third event, they hooked it up and I got me, I got it retail the first time. The second time, Steven from Sarah's Market kind of like looked down, let me buy the wine at a discount and made a big difference.
Yeah.
going back to Taryn, like him actually, me going to the events and actually like seeing them do like collaborational wine events with restaurants and bars and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I see what they're doing now. And not to say like I was gonna take their idea or anything like that, which that was never I ever thought, but I was just like, all right, I think I found somebody I could like talk to about what I'm doing, or I could ask.
Oh, like an actual
like a mentor.
Yeah,
in a
mentor.
sense. And
Yeah.
even and I bring the story up because I think it was like the second or third time he came over for dinner, and my girl at the time, I remember him before he came, and I remember talking to her. She was just like, you need to ask him to help you mentor, and I was just like, you know, as a grown man, I think I was like 32 or no, like 33, 34. I was like, I'm not gonna ask another grown man to help me. You know, you just don't. You know, like as a grown man at that age, like to ask another grown man, like, can you mentor me? I felt like a bitch, if I'm being honest with you, because it's just like, damn, I can't do this shit on my own.
Yeah.
But I remember the day before he came, I kind of like sat with myself and thought about it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just ask him. And even the way I asked him, I was just like, hey T, I know you got a lot of shit going on, but like, if you could, you know, help me out in some type of way, kind of like mentor me if you could, I appreciate it. And he just looked at me, he was like, I got you. And that kind of just like started my relationship with him. And
Yeah.
you know, that being around him, talking to him, bouncing ideas off of him, you know, and I say this all the time, I owe him a lot because he did a lot for me.
Yeah.
But he would say like, no, all I did was put you in the room and you did it.
Yeah. You did yourself.
I did, but you know, I'm not in that room without him.
Yeah. Well, he opened the door.
He opened the door.
Yeah.
He opened the door, you know.
Because you put in the work.
I did. And that's one thing he told me one time, we talked about it. He was like, Fonz, like the amount of people that came to him wanting help, he was like, you were the only one that like went through it and actually like did it.
Put in the work.
Even from me getting like my wine apprenticeship, I got that from him. He hit me up, he's like, yo, Amplify is looking for a wine apprentice. He was like, you told me, you know, if there's anything, you know, and this was it. And I went, met Mar, the owner. She was just like, you know, Taryn through the lobby. He was like, yo, this is Fonz, you know, who I was telling you about the apprenticeship, and met her. Mar was amazing.
It's a lot of like the, like you choose your family, right?
Yeah.
Like right then and there. Because you have a big family. Mm-hmm. But like.
I come from a big family, but nobody's into wine.
Yeah.
So there wasn't nobody I could like turn to or even like, not even turn to, like family, friends, cousins, people around the neighborhood. There was nobody that would just be like, damn, I remember like my homie was in wine back in the day. There wasn't nobody like that, or like my friend's mom, or there was nobody I could be like, call back to my childhood to be like, man, like, you think you can help me out with this shit? Or there was just nobody. So to meet T at that time, I think was a very pivotal moment for me. Because that and even that wine apprenticeship opened so many doors for me. He even kind of like helped me get the job at Flask and Field when I was there.
Yeah.
And I went in there kind of like cold cut, dropped my resume off, and then he ended up knowing the owner, because I had him on my resume. The owner called him. She was like, yeah, this guy named Fonz came by, and he was just like, oh, that's my boy, you know. And that was kind of just like the easy. Like, she called me, she was like, oh, you're hired.
I was actually there too.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a mezcal thing.
Yeah.
1 to 4. I was like, I know Fonz. They're like, there was 2 Fonz.
Yeah, there's Alfonso. Yeah, that's my guy.
And I was like, the one that is my height. The one that's my height.
Yeah, even working at Flask and Field, like that was like a connection through him in a sense, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and I love Miriam. She taught me a lot in the like 8-9 months I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing that wine apprenticeship, I would say that was a crazy year and a half.
Yeah.
Because I was working at Buzz still.
You were taking the train up there.
I was taking the train. I was there every Monday, Tuesday, sometimes Wednesdays, every week. Working at Flask and Field from Wednesday to Sunday. And then at night, I'll go to Buzz for like 3 days out of the night, 4 days out of the night. And that was like my routine for like damn near like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And if people know me or they knew that, like the amount of like, not stress, but just like tiredness I was in doing that, still managing Buzz, still going to Flask and Field to work, and then going making wine on my days off, that shit was a lot. Like, it was a lot. It was obviously something that I wanted to do, but it was a lot. It took a toll on my body, definitely did. Like, I didn't sleep a lot. I was always on the go.
Yeah.
I was working 8, 16, 17-hour days, you know? And then going to the winery on my days off to make wine, like, that's hard labor. It's not easy. It's fun. Everybody says like, oh, when you went to go make wine, it looked fun. I'm like, yeah, that shit was fun, but that shit's hard. You're cleaning, everything is by hand, you're moving shit, cleaning barrels, you're picking up barrels. It was amazing. Drank so much wine out of it. Cam, love you, miss you. Mar, love you guys, so you miss you guys, and Miles, their son. But yeah, that was like another, I would say,
chapter
in my wine life. I would say that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you are on the journey to finding like who you want to be, who you're going to be in this space, you find people that like are going to be on your side, and then you find critics who don't really believe in your journey or are skeptical of your intentions in the journey.
There's still people that don't believe in my journey.
Yeah.
They don't have to say it.
Yeah. It's do you feel as if you were, I guess, do you feel as if you were in like with the license of like a sommelier, or you were in that certain level,
I would get looked different.
You would get looked different.
Yeah.
But because you're approaching it in such a new angle and in such a different angle,
I get judged.
You get
right
judged,
off the bat,
like you come correct with like you have your accolades, you have your facts, you have your events.
I do.
You have so many things in your belt where it seems surprising that like why do people continue to be like that?
Because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because and not even to say they understand it, I don't think they ever seen it be done like this.
Yeah.
With the wine and music experiences, with the bottle shares, people don't. When I tell people about that in the industry, when I first started doing them, or even like now, like when I tell reps, I'm like, yeah, I throw these bottle shares. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know, and I tell them the concept of it. And it's one of those things, like, it doesn't make sense until you go.
Yeah.
Even with the wine and music experience. Like, I could sit here and explain to you from beginning to end about how that experience goes with the wine, the music, and me telling the stories and me guiding you. But until you actually go, it's a different type of experience, because I could, like I said, I could talk about it all I want. And I've had people actually come up to me and tell me this, where they're like, Fonz, like, yeah, when you tell me about this event, like, it sounds cool, it sounds fun, but they were like, at the end, like, of actually doing it, they were like, it's on a whole nother level. They're like, and the last one I did last year, my boy Ant was like, he was like, I could tell you took your time, like talking about the wine, picking the music. And I'm like, bro, that shit, like, I tell him, like, it normally takes me like 3 months of like getting that, preparing for the wine. Cause I'm constantly tasting wine at work. So what I do is, like, if there's certain wines that I'm like, oh shit, like, I want people to try this. Yeah. Like, this is one of them. Like, I put it to the side. I have a folder to the side where I'm like, you know, potential wine for an event. Then I'll do my homework on it if I feel like it's something that has a story behind it and I can talk about and I can relate to, or something in that sense, I use it.
Is it important for you to get black and brown people in these spaces, or is it important for you to get people just in general? Like what is like kind of like a,
I think the main focus is the black and brown people, just because there's not a lot of spaces, I would say. There's not a lot of wine events curated for us.
Yeah.
They are the priority, But at the end of the day, I just want people to come and have a good time and drink wine.
Yeah.
And not to. I don't want people to come and like judge, or I want people to feel comfortable. When you come to my events, like I want you to feel like you belong. I want you to feel like, you know, it's okay to be here. It's okay to drink the wine. It's okay to talk about the wine. My biggest thing is I just want people to feel comfortable drinking wine and talking about wine.
You want people to feel how you were, like the opposite of how
I know how it feels not to feel wanted, or not wanted, but not to feel like what is he doing here?
Yeah.
You know, when I first started going to like these like certain tastings and stuff like that, like I'll get invited, and like I said, I go the way I look.
Yeah.
I don't go. You're not about to see me in no boots, and if it's boots, it's Doc Martens. But you're not about to see me in like, you know, these certain boots that a lot of people wear in the wine industry. And you're not gonna see me in a sweater or you know, a tie, you know, slacks. Like that's just not who I am. You know. But to go back to your question, like, I think the main focus is the Black and brown people, because who says that we can't drink it either?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
who says we can't be educated in it?
Exactly.
Who says we can't learn the terms and have a civil conversation?
And I always tell people, like, the first people to even touch these grapes are, you know,
Black and brown. Oh, brown.
Oh, brown, yeah.
Really?
Some type of like, you know, immigrant in a sense, or somebody, you know, of a person of color.
Yeah.
Either being Asian, Filipino, brown, or something like that. Like, they're the people in the fields, you know, picking these wines.
It is so interesting. It's one thing to say now that like you are, you know, educated in this, you are, you know, adept in wine. But like when it comes to your feelings and your emotions towards the industry, where do you think it's heading? Like, where do you think the wine industry is heading? Knowing that you have opened a door and you see people like you opening doors, and you're inspiring a generation of people who want to do the same and open doors. Do you feel like you're making like the impact that you want to make, or do you feel like there needs to be so much more work to be done?
There's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
At the shop I work at right now, like it's a known shop. It's a big shop.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best shops in, I'll say, Southern California or in California. But I think where the industry is heading, I think, and this is my opinion, say what you want, but I think they're fucking up because they're still curating to the older people.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these older people are on fixed incomes because they're retired.
Yeah.
Inflation is rising, wine pricing is rising. If they're on a fixed income and then inflation is passing them, they can't buy the wine they were buying 10 years ago at that $80 price point.
Yeah.
Now they're looking into buying the $30 wine, $25 wine. And I think the wine industry has and hasn't, and I'll say more on the hasn't side, it hasn't targeted the demographic that I target. I think my events are niche because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I say that to say it's not for the person who's been drinking wine since they're like 21.
Yeah.
It's for the people who actually want to like get into it, want to learn about it, and want to have a good time and a fun time doing it.
And probably enjoy it forever.
Enjoy it forever.
Yeah.
You know, my biggest thing of when I do these like the wine experiences and the bottle shares and stuff like that is getting new people to come in and try the wine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I meet, you know, from work or being around or being out. They always ask me like, why, like, what's so cool about wine or what's so good about wine? I'm like, man, just come to an event and I'll show you. Like, I'll pour you something and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Like,
chop it up.
Yeah, we'll talk. Like, we'll talk.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, you know, people, I think the industry hasn't tapped into this demographic yet of Black and brown or people of color
that are actually like successful and have money to spend.
And not to say like I'm trying to, you know, take advantage of that, but those people want to learn.
Yeah.
Like they want to learn, but they just,
there's a huge group.
It's a big group where, you know, sometimes they don't know who to turn to.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they don't know who to ask, or they'll go, or, you know, my biggest thing I get people, it's always like Mexican dude, black dude. They'll come in, they'll be with a chick, They be like, yo, I want to buy like an $80 bottle of wine or a $100 bottle of wine. And I'm like,
Why?
why? That's always like my thing, like why? I'm like, you celebrating, you doing it, just do it. You know, why are you, you know, and just like, nah, you know. And I'm always that person to be like, bro, like, look, I could give you this $35 bottle of wine, you gonna fucking love it.
Yeah.
And she's not gonna tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I tell friends of mine or like people that know I'm into wine, that's like, oh, like you must be drinking expensive bottles. Like, I don't. This bottle's $22.99.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, I've had bottles, the other night I had a bottle that's $329. Was it good? Yes. Was it amazing? No.
Yeah.
Would I buy it? No. You know, that's kind of like the perks I get from working where I work at. We get to, you know, try bottles at that price point. But it's just like, it didn't blow my mind away. It's like, oh my God, best wine I ever had.
Yeah.
I had a $40 wine not too long ago that fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, I remember you got me into skin contact wines, the orange wines. And I was just like, damn.
Skin contact is, and that's like another topic where people would think like, oh, it's new. It's like, it's not new. That's like the original form of winemaking in Georgia.
Yeah.
That's like where wine came from.
Yeah.
They didn't know you weren't supposed to like leave it on the skins during fermentation. That's just how they were making wine. It's just a old traditional way of winemaking being brought back to life now.
Yeah.
And the younger generation is loving it because it gives you tropical, citrus, honeydew,
Just
melon.
tastiness.
It gives you so much flavor. I have a skin contact we open up and shit, we could drink it, but you know, but it's giving them something different. You know, wine with just red, white, rosé, sparkling.
Yeah.
You know, now there's a skin contact that people are like, oh, it's new, it's a fad. Natural wine's a fad. And
Yeah.
we could go on natural wine, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Oh, rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah.
A lot of misinformation out there on the internet. A lot of wine influencers that don't be knowing what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, and I think that's also like the big like there's a scarcity of true information, and there's everyone that's just jumping on like the latest trend.
The trend, yeah.
And just like when there's been an influx of ICE informant information about like, oh, this place is housing ICE members, and it's like lies. Like, no, this is just an old lady's house who had like 3 people who work for the police department, and like none of them house ICE agents. Like, please leave this old lady alone and her family alone.
Yeah, I want to talk my shit, but I don't want to go that deep, but
yeah,
there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of wine influencers that...
It's okay to not go that deep. Like, it's for sure, like, you have your reservations.
I do.
And you have your concerns.
Yeah, I do. Because there's people... I'll go talk about it for like a quick little second. Because there's people who come to my job or come to my events that like... And they'll say something. And I'll be like, where did you like get that from? Or who told you that? You know? And they're like, oh, this person on Instagram, or I seen it on the internet. And I'm like, stop listening to people.
Yeah.
Clickbaiting. A lot of that shit is. There's a lot of people on the internet that, in wine, I say now, that I feel like they do it because it's cool.
Yeah.
Where I come from a different approach to it. We're just like, nah, I do this because I actually love it.
Yeah.
I actually have a passion for it. This is actually something I'm gonna do until I'm dead. Like,
yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, like, your deathbed, what are you doing? Like, what's your last meal? And I was like, steak, fries, and a fucking glass of wine.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Literally, that's all I want. So it kind of, and that's why if you follow me on Instagram, like, I don't shove wine down your throat.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about wine all the time.
You're living your life.
Yeah, you're gonna see my life.
Yeah.
I DJ from time to time. I throw events.
And your family events where you're always winning the trophy.
I'm always.
Yeah,
They cheated me last year, but it's all good. They know they did. But the past 2 years, I would say they cheated me. Yeah. But like I'm, you know, you're gonna see me, the music I'm playing, the wine you're gonna see the wine I'm drinking, but I'm not sitting here like, oh, this Fabian Hovin is, you fucking with wine is this grape, this, they taste like this, comes from the soils, and no, I'm not. I'm not, because I feel corny doing that. I feel corny doing that right now.
Yeah.
It's just not me.
I think you give a very you give a very like lifestyle approach to it. Like, yo, this is a lifestyle. This is a vibe. This is a way of being. You can come from any background, and you can still put your own spin in it, your own spice into the conversation. Like you're not forcing like a rhetoric.
And I'm very personal.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people in person.
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a genuine conversation over a glass of wine.
Yeah.
If you come to dinner with me, if you come to a wine bar I'm at or working at, or if you're just around some friends of mine, like, yeah, we could talk wine. I've done it with you.
Yeah.
You know, just hanging out, drinking wine, and I'll go into the conversation about wine, but it's not like super formal. It's just me talking about what I love about the wine.
Yeah.
Or if I
This is actually the most we ever talked about wine.
Probably. We just drinking and talk shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, but you know, it's what I love. Like I said, like I'm come from a generation where we didn't really have the internet like that.
Yeah.
You know, the internet wasn't something we looked for. I was outside playing.
What is something you would tell an enthusiast who's willing to take that next step and like follow that journey that you took? That's your, you know, that's similar to you.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if I had the same mindset I have right now a couple years back, I would be a little more further.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe in myself in a lot because it was hard to. Because it was new to me. This is like, you know, like I said, like it's not a lot of people that look like me, or even when I go to like these taste, like these industry tastings and shit like that, like it's different. It's obviously evolving into a little better, but you know, a couple years back, like I didn't feel as comfortable as I feel now.
Yeah.
May that be the knowledge I knew or how I felt or the confidence I had. I think I have way more confidence I do now. But if somebody came to me and was like, yo, what should I do? I'm like, bro, just do it. I get people that hit me up all the time in my DMs like, oh, I need help doing this, or like, how'd you throw these events, or how do you throw your events? And I give them free game. I'll tell them like, bro, this is what I do. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and give you every little thing because it's just like, you know, I'm gonna give you a little bit of game and I hope you take that and you run with it. You know, but I tell people, it was a dude in DC that hit me up and he was just like, man, like, started doing these events and I kind of just need help. I'm trying to figure out. And I kind of told him, I'm like, man, you got to just do it. Do the events. He was like, I'm not making money. I'm like, I didn't make no type of money when I first started doing events. The bottle share, it's a free event. I don't get paid for that. Last time we had one at Brixton Woods with Casey, we had, I don't know, 150, 200 people there. Free event, free wine. You know, I brought about 15 to 20 wines of my own. You know, the whole concept is having people come to try free wine, getting them in the building to let them try the wine and open up their minds of something I love to do, and me actually conversating with them, talking to them. Yeah. The one I did at Playa that you shot for me. Yeah. Like that was one of the most successful ones I ever did. Yeah. Like, you know, granted, I was behind that fucking bar cart for like 3 hours. Yeah. You know, but it was actually pretty cool because people were actually lining up to have me serve them a wine. Yeah. And to talk to me. And I think it was pretty cool because, you know, I got to talk to so many people that day about wine. And, you know, in that one, like that 2 or 3 minutes of conversating, I picked a wine for them. Yeah, it was like a wine confessional to you. That's funny. It kind of was. It was like a wine confessional. Because people were lined up. And I remember looking like, oh, fuck, people are lined up. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I was like, and I wasn't supposed to be behind that bar for that long. I wasn't supposed to be there for like an hour serving wine. And it worked to your benefit, strangely enough. It kind of did because I met so many people in that line. Yeah. Like so many people came back like, oh my God, the fucking wine you gave me was great. Like, can I take a picture of it? And I'm like, yes, like, let me grab it. Or, you know, but. Pope Vino. Yeah. Might take that. Nah, but that's just, you know, that's the concept. That's what I want to do. Like, obviously the sit down wine experience, I do get paid because it's a lot of work that goes into it and I charge a ticket for that. But, you know, I'm not getting rich off that shit, you know? It's not something I can be like, oh, I did event, I'm good for the year. No, I only do 1 or 2 a year because it's special to me. Yeah. I don't want to oversaturate it and do it every month. I don't want, because now if I do that, it's going to feel like I'm forcing the wine, I'm forcing the music, I'm forcing the people to come. You know, that's why
Forcing an environment.
It's super like curated. Like it's ones I fucking love and I want people to try. You know.
I guess one of the last questions I do want to ask is, in your heart, like, do you feel this journey in your heart, it's something that should, like, do you feel like this journey is relatable to like somebody who is going through like the hardships of anything that they want to do, like in this current time in this economy? Like, how relatable is your journey right now to the current approach of like just how America is being led and how we're being treated? Because like you are a Latino and you are going through this and becoming successful in this, and then you also see our people going through the worst they've ever been in America. Do you feel like your journey I personally think it is an inspiration to many who are trying to work towards their American dream or their beliefs? Like, where do you see yourself in this history? Because I think you are paving history in the wine universe, and I feel like as a Latino, like you deserve your flowers for even opening a door for other Latinos to really believe that they can do something in a space that nobody accepted them in.
Yeah, because I mean, with everything going on, it's kind of like that thing, like, people get judged right away.
Yeah.
You know, you're outside, you look a certain way, you're Mexican, you're brown, you're some type of, you know, relation of immigrant, or in that sense of looking like somebody that's not from here, you get judged right away.
Yeah.
Either and that could go for any race. But yeah, I think it's relatable because you feel that when people look at you and they judge you, you feel it. Like I catch that shit right away. When people look at me, it's just like, it's kind of like a question like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here? Like, who do you know, or you know, who invited you?
How'd you get here?
Yeah, how'd you get here? Like, how'd you get to come here?
Yeah.
You know, which is a crazy thing to even process in your mind. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say it doesn't bother me, and it does bother me.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, who says I can't be here? Who says, you know, I don't deserve to be here?
Yeah.
Who you don't know the work I put in to be here. I've had some doubts recently. I would say, I would be open and say, like, I had some doubts on the shit I was doing and shit like that, but something kind of was just like, Fonz, like, you got it. Like, you're doing it.
But don't you think because you're doing it and you're at a certain space and you went so far, isn't it, there's like a level of like insecurity that does come
definitely
into all of it? Like,
definitely. I'm super insecure about, people tell me I'm not confident enough. Yeah. There's like, you should be so, like, look at the shit. Like, my track record kind of speaks for itself. They're like, look at the shit you did. Like, and I tell people like, like when people give me compliments, I don't take compliments well. I don't. When people like, Fonz, that shit was fire, that shit was fun, the event, you know, you're doing it. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. And, you know, I don't feed off of that. Yeah. There's people who feed off of shit like that.
Yeah, I can't feed off of that anymore. Like, I tried to in the beginning. It felt kind of good, like a little parade.
I'm sure, like,
you know, it's like a little parade. It's like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
And it's over, and then you're like, fuck, I feel like shit.
But yeah, like when people shoot me, like, when people say nice things or good things about the events I do and stuff like that, I'm always just like, thank you. Like, I'm always just like,
you appreciate it.
I appreciate it because it does give me confidence. But in the moment, it doesn't hit me until after the fact. Yeah. Until I'm here by myself, like playing music or just like having my alone time where that conversation kind of comes up and I'm like, oh shit, I actually am doing it. Like,
yeah, you are.
It takes a minute to like hit me, but
you truly are.
But no, I definitely need to be more confident in the shit I'm doing. Like, people tell me Fonz, you need to be doing way more shit. And I should be. I should be doing way more shit than I do, but I work on my time.
Yeah.
I don't do shit just to do it. Everything
on
I
your
do,
journey.
yeah, it's my speed.
Yeah.
I work at my own pace. You know, if I was out here just doing every event, I'm gonna burn myself out.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to look like the person that just doing it just to do it. If I did, you would have seen me do a lot of shit, and I'm kind of glad I didn't do a lot of these things I got asked to do. And I'm just like, because it's not me. I'm super genuine, especially when it comes to wine. I'm super personal. When you meet me, you meet me. The way I talk about this wine is like, you can see the passion kind of behind it.
Yeah.
Because I really love it. It's something I found in life that I could keep learning about until I'm dead.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I am Fonz, the ghetto Sam, as some people call me. And that's who I'll be.
Yep.
You know?
And I'm proud to meet you. And I'm proud to call you a friend. Let's keep that journey going.
Oh, it's going. It's going to keep going. And got a lot of shit coming up. I don't know when this shit's going to release, but got a lot of shit cooking up. Me and Casey with Fragile Wine Bar is doing a lot of shit.
Let's go.
Got some fun shit coming up, so.
Let's run it up.
Yeah.
Till the next one.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jason.